The Life Adventurist podcast is for fun-loving people who want to find, create, and live with adventure as a norm in their lives. Not just that type of adventure that makes you shit your pants, but the type of adventure that lights up your soul and helps you to feel even more alive. I'm Jenny Holla, your podcast host, and welcome to Your Life Adventure. Hello and welcome. What is going on? How are you? Hope you're doing well. It's been amazingly beautiful here in Florida, so I hope that spring, if you're listening to this exactly in the moment, is treating you well. If not, I hope that everything around you is going great. So today, I have something pretty exciting to talk about, and I want to really unpack and discuss and help you learn more about what a life adventurist is and what is a life adventurist list. So this is a super exciting topic to me because I love finding the joy and adventure in everything. And I also love helping inspire others to open up their minds, think big, dream big, and to really believe in what is possible for your life. And really, ever since I can remember, I always wanted to help people live their best life. And the thing with that is it's so cliche, but let's get real. Like, who doesn't want to live an amazing, happy, wonderful, fulfilled, adventurous, inspired, beautiful, grateful life? I mean, shoot, I do, even if it is cliche. So let's get in. So what is a life adventurist? This is someone who's willing to find adventure in everything around them. And just like the intro of the podcast says, it's not the type of adventure that makes you shit your pants. It's not always about, oh my God, you have to go whitewater rafting or go scale and climb, a 3,000 foot wall with no ropes. Like, yes, that is a form of adventure, but that's not the adventure I'm talking about. I'm talking about the type of adventure that allows you to step into your inner curiosity and really just explore and open your mind up to what's around you and find ways to make things fun in your life, find ways to explore what's around, really just find the joy and find the excitement around you. And I call it adventure because adventure can be, hey, I'm going to go explore my neighborhood. I've only driven down these certain roads to get to my house, but I'm going to go walk or ride my bike or drive my car or whatever is appropriate. I'm going to go explore some of the other things that are right here around me. Jay and I did this recently because the weather has been so great here. And in the mornings, we decided so our dog's getting older. And I don't know, I think he's like 12 or something, 11. I always get confused and I always have to think back. So he's an old dude, but he's super young and acts super young all the time. His name's Nietzsche. And sometimes I put stuff on him on Instagram stories. So if you love dogs and you want to see, pop over to Instagram, follow me at The Life Adventurist, and, pay attention to the stories. You'll sometimes see Nietzsche in them. So anyways, he's getting older and we can't always take him on a longer walk because, he's got arthritis and sometimes, we just can't take him on longer walks. We were doing 1.5 miles in the morning, 1.5 miles at night, and we cut that back to do like 0.5 mile or 3/4 mile each time, unless it's a little bit cooler. And then after that, we have come back and then we'll walk ourselves, maybe an hour or 30 minutes, and we'll walk, 2-3 miles around. And we've taken different routes. And we've lived here in the same place for 3 years. And we just now tapped into that life adventurist adventure where we explored right here. Because there's normally certain roads we walk down. And we decided to go different ways. And we were like, wow, look at these houses, or look at this neighborhood, or man, I didn't know this was here. That's what I'm talking about. That's one form of just exploring your backyard. Another form is when I was traveling for business and I would be in hotels and out of town all the time. And it seems like the traditional status quo of what business travelers do is they go fly somewhere, they work all day, and then they go to the hotel and they work all night and they go downstairs and they sit at the hotel bar and have a couple drinks to unwind, but they have their computer or phone there and they're working, or they've got dinner with clients or whatever. And they don't leave the hotel at all. And so for me, since I was going to be away all the time, I thought, how can I make this fun? And how can I find adventure in traveling? Now, for me, I already have a strong sense of wanderlust, and I already love to travel and tap into new cultures. But I found ways to really experience the cities that I went to. For example, I would get up in the morning before work and I would go hike, or I would hike after the day of work, or I would stay closer to the mountains so I could get out in nature, because that's something I really love. Another thing I would do is I would find meetups, and I would go. I like to play volleyball and I like to be active. So in Dallas, I was playing in a Sunday night open gym for volleyball whenever I would have to go to Dallas on Sunday nights. And I had to be in that type of area. I also have been to meetups, spiritual meetups in different locations, or even just trying to find what's going on in the local environment. Whenever I have friends in an area, I like to go hang out at their house or go play softball with them or whatever. Because when you're traveling all the time, it's about how can you make this fun and make it feel a little more normal is the word I want to say. But if you listen to the last episode, I talked about like what is normal. I mean, it's a word that we have, but go listen to that if you haven't listened to it yet, because I really just kind of explored what normal is and how to create your new normal. So when you're on the road, everything's out of whack and you want to have some sense of, I guess, like routine or something familiar. And so for me, that was really plugging into the area around and getting out and about. So it's about finding adventure, or even like when you travel, maybe there's something that you do in every location. Maybe you bike in every location, or you try cupcakes, or I don't know, like there's something specific. Maybe you collect ornaments that you do in each of the areas. So another characteristic of what makes someone a life adventurist really goes along with the adventure, but it's also someone who's willing to find fun in life. And really going another level is someone who's willing to celebrate and find gratitude in each day and each moment, and really just be in awe of what's around us and all of the possibilities, and look for ways to light up that joy inside of you. Because when you do these things, you're going to see even more possibilities for you in your life. And so I prefer and I choose to operate my life to where I operate from a sense of gratitude, joy, curiosity, adventure, fun. Some of those words, almost all of them, are some of my core values and what I look for. But even if they're not your core values, it's okay, because it's about finding how you can tap into those energies. Because if you really want to explore more in life, and you really want to experience more, and you want to see the world, and you even want to see the world when you can't see the world, there are ways to do it, and that's by being curious and looking for the adventure and the fun and the gratitude. Another thing that I didn't have on the list, but I think is important, is be willing to ask questions and connect with people. One thing that has helped me to really explore and find the adventure even more is just asking people questions and asking them like, hey, what's some of your favorite spots around here? Like on the plane, I would talk to people next to me. I get it. Not all the time you want to talk to people. Sometimes that's very like, I don't want to do that. But my guess is if you're listening to this podcast, then you probably have some similarities to me, and maybe you've done this before, or you do it currently, or it's something you wish you could do more of. And sometimes just having those brief conversations with the people in your world, in your circle that you're interacting with in the day, you could get really great gems that could help you to awaken to other possibilities that are around you. How many times has someone come to visit you, or you've gone to visit somebody, and you already researched all of the tourist activities, or they already researched all of the tourist activities that were right in your area, and you're going to hang out with them, and they're showing you around, or you're showing them around, and then one of the parties says, oh my God, I've lived here for 58 years and I never knew that this existed. That's what I'm saying. A life adventurist is willing to go look for some of those things around and find the fun and joy, even if it's super close to where you are. So now let's get into the goods. What's a life adventurist list? So a life adventurist list, this came up, I don't know, like 5, 7, 10 years ago. I can't keep track. But the word bucket list, a lot of people have a bucket list and it's like, hey, these are all the things that I want to do before I die. And to me, that's great. And I think it's important to have those things you want to do before you die. But that just felt really like blah. Like, I have a bucket list. I don't know. It just seems like kind of boring. And if it's about being fun and finding adventure, I was like, you know what? What about a life adventurist list? And really, it's not just about the things you want to do before you die, but it's also really saying, okay, what do I want to do in the next year or the next 6 months or the next 5 years or the next 3 months? And putting some things that inspire you and excite you on that list. So that way it helps you to stay in the life adventurist aura and mindset. For example, one year I had that I wanted to visit 100 parks in a year. And I had no idea if it was possible or not, but I was traveling all the time and I figured, you know what, if I go to a couple parks a week, it seems reasonable that I could do that. So whenever I went a place, like that was my goal, my life adventurist list goal that was right in front of me. And I would go to different parks and I would go hike and explore. And I saw so much of Texas because that year was when I was living in Texas. And I was also 90% of my time traveling in Texas. So I got a state park pass and I visited a lot of the parks around. I think I got to like 30 some. And honestly, I wasn't even mad that I didn't get to 100 because had I not put that out there, I wouldn't have even got to the 36. The other thing too is I saw literally every corner of Texas because whenever I went somewhere, I was looking to see what national park was around, what state park was around, what kind of green space was on the map. If I was in between clients and I had some time, I would pop out, go spend some time. If I had my dress clothes on, I mean, I hiked in my dresses a couple of times. Now it wasn't like hardcore, 14ers, like in the Colorado terms where I was going up, a huge mountain. No, we're talking about like pretty easy, like to navigate. I would wear my flip-flops or whatever, and I would go in my dress because I was like, whatever, I'm going to walk a mile or 2 miles. It wasn't a big deal. I did stuff that was a little bit more chill. I wasn't like sweating my butt off. So what? I got to go out and explore. I saw some cool animals. But really, this could be anything. Maybe you want to explore a certain amount of towns around your area because especially right now with everything changing with this virus, you may choose to travel far, you may choose to travel close, you may not choose to travel at all. So whatever your tolerance level is, how can you take whatever that is for the next 6 months and say, okay, I want to visit the towns around me and I want to go explore. Or I want to maybe try tacos in the 10 cities around me. Or I want to, if you live in a beach area like we do here in Florida, I want to try all the different beaches. I want to go see what they're like. Or, you want to bike a certain amount of miles, or you want to bike a certain amount of pass. Maybe you want to like try out the biking pass in your area and you say, all right, I want to do 20 different paths in the next 6 months. Those kind of things help you to stay in that fun and that adventure and that excitement. Because otherwise it's so easy to go about life and day and day and day goes by. And then you're like, what happened? I didn't even get to do these things. Not only is it going to give you amazing stories to tell, it's going to give you all these great experiences, pictures, memories, possibly some new people to meet. There's so much that can be taken from this activity and so much you can learn and grow. So here's another thing. If you've got a spouse or kids, family, friends, you can do this with them too and have certain things that you want to achieve with the people around you. And you can make it fun and put it on the fridge and make it an exciting thing and involve them. So I'm getting super excited and I want to actually update my life adventurist list. This is a perfect time because not only is the whole world changed, but also I'm not traveling anymore for a corporate job. I'm home a lot more now. I've had a chance to recoup. I've had a chance to regenerate, whatever. And now's a great time for me to go, what are some new things I can put on my life adventurous list? Because I sure do know the United States, but what about Florida? What about my backyard? And this actually excites me and I want to do it. So I actually have a life adventurous list. It's a little template that helps you keep it in front of you. It's pretty. It's got some color on it. Maybe pretty's not your word, but it's nice. It's got some color on it. If you want to get that, reach out to me on social or send me an email, holla@2jholla.com, and I'll send that over to you. I was trying to hurry up and set up a link for it, but as I said in the last podcast, we are between back-end systems, so we're still finishing all that up, and we'll have all that together, more clean. That's life. There's a part of me that was like, oh my God, I want to be perfect. I want to go out there, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I just got to go. I got to go with imperfection because it's not going to happen on my timeline imperfectly like I would like. So I am fired up, and I bet you are too. And I am so excited to continue to inspire you in your life to be able to create something amazing, something that you are excited to wake up for every day. And I'm thinking the next episode might be about travel. Maybe I'll go back in the archives and pick maybe like my favorite spots and share some stories and share some things about some of my travels. That's what I'm thinking. But if you have something that you want to hear in one of the future episodes, shoot me a message. Let me know. Would love to hear. Also, make sure that you like this podcast in whatever podcast app that you're listening to. And if it's an Apple podcast, make sure you leave a review. Of course, 5 stars. Would love that. Share this with your friends and anybody you think who could hugely benefit from this message. All right, guys. Chat soon. Mahalo. Thank you for listening to the Life Adventurist podcast. If you love this episode, remember to subscribe on your favorite podcast app. For course information, freebies, and to stay connected, join our Ohana, that means family, at www.2jholla.com/Ohana. Remember to stay positive, enjoy the journey, and most of all, keep those eyes open for all of the adventures surrounding you.